And like I alluded to before, embrace change. Things are going to change, and just learn how you can use all of these new and exciting tools that are being put in front of us. Get someone that can discern what tools are going to be right for your business, because there are a lot of new softwares that you see in a lot of even consulting firms, etc. Just make sure you pick a good firm like a Pacific that can help you discern what would be best for your operations and your business in general.
Today's guest on the show is the remarkable Mandy Woods, the Chief Operating Officer and EOS Integrator at Objective Investment Banking and Valuation. Objective is a leading investment banking and valuation firm that serves middle market companies across key industries: business services, consumer, healthcare, life sciences, manufacturing and distribution, and technology. At Objective, Mandy oversees financial management, human resources, office administration, and marketing. The firm offers sell-side advisory through its investment banking practice and a range of valuation advisory services, including tax compliance, financial reporting, transaction opinions, and strategic advisory. Founded in 2006, Objective's seasoned professionals have collectively executed over 500 M&A advisory engagements and thousands of business valuations. The firm's name embodies their core mission: to help business owners achieve their objectives. Learn more and find additional resources at objectiveibv.com. Hey, Mandy. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I want this to be as natural as possible, so I'll just divulge that we are married, and this would not happen if you weren't being so gracious with your time and do this interview. And I do thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, yeah, thank you. AI is something that I'm very excited about, so happy to sit down and discuss it with you.
Yeah, this is you're actually the second guest here from Objective, Cappy being the first, and we want to go one step up and go a higher level and get a little background on what has been taking place with AI in your space, and especially at Objective. But before we dive into that, you have one of the most interesting stories of business people here in the greater San Diego area and practically the nation, being a woman working in investment banking in the C-suite. So why don't you give us a little bit about your path to Objective and your ascension to Chief Operating Officer?
Sure. Yes, I've always been very passionate about operations, and I started my career in biotech with startup biotech companies, back in my very early 20s. I know I look like I'm only, 25 right now, but
Always to me.
Yeah, in my early 20s. And it just passionate always about operations, and then it just snowballed from there. In that I believed that education was very, very important. And, back when I was 21, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life yet. So I decided to go to, evening classes at UCSD. And it took me 2 years to get a certificate in accounting, first off. Then decided I did not want to be an accountant. Then I went back and decided to get another certificate in evening classes in HR. Decided I didn't want to do just that, but a mixture of everything. So actually learning more about organizational leadership, organizational growth and development is something I'm passionate about. And with being passionate about education, finished up my bachelor's degree and then went on to get a master's degree, an MBA in organizational leadership, which has taken me to where I currently am as Chief Operating Officer at Objective. I came in, I've been with the firm going on 8 years now, and I came to interview with our two founders, Trevor Akers and Channing Hamlet. And I sat down to meet with them, not knowing much about investment banking at all, other than maybe some of the stuff you see in the movies with Gordon Gekko or Wolf of Wall Street or something like that. So I didn't know what to expect about investment banking. But investment banking encompasses, that's the umbrella that encompasses a lot of different things. So sat down and met with them and decided they were, just wonderful people. And it was an organization that I wanted to join. And I did. And I have not regretted a minute of it. So what we do is we, to boil it down into very simplistic terms, is we do sell side M&A. We help people sell their companies. We also do valuations as well. So we have two different practices, and I'll put our website out there so people can go to our website and take a look. But
We'll add it in the link.
Yeah, take a look at both of the practices. But that's just a little bit of what we do at Objective.
So let's back it up. So when you were in biotech and you were running operations, you actually set up offices on clinical side and those things. But I remember you working specifically at Cellular. During that time, the research that they were doing didn't they use automations to sift through data and things like that?
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I can only imagine now. This is when I worked with, it's almost been a decade, better part of a decade since I've worked in biotech. And when I worked there, they were using automation in robotics and things like that they had like a cell sorting device, and they were using technology that is probably way beyond my understanding, microfluidics and things like that, to discover maternal fetal cells in the maternal blood, right? But yeah, that was before AI took off. There was no chat GTP back then, but it's just exciting to see it, some of the progress that they've probably made in all of these startup biotech companies and in science in general, and using AI technology to sort through the data, just being one piece of that. AI is going to change not only biotech investment banking, but just business in general. It's super exciting. But then, I understand that people are a little bit nervous about certain things with AI as well. But I think if you embrace it and learn how to use it as a useful tool, that it's going to be mind blowing where we're at 5 years from now.
And the stage that we're at right now is actually figuring out how to utilize tools to increase productivity, right? So when you came on board, because I had a specific vantage point, I remember as you were integrating from support into operations, you adopted the EOS, or Entrepreneurial Operating System, to run that business, which is mostly effective with 2 to 200 personnel, right? Could you give us a little feedback on the implementation and the transformation of your business when switching over to the platform? Give us the basics and then some of the intricacies.
Definitely. I'm glad you asked about EOS because it's something that I'm extremely passionate about. I'm an EOS integrator, Entrepreneurial Operating System, developed by Gino Wickman. And we were encouraged by one of our founders who was a member of EO, the entrepreneurial organization in Los Angeles, Channing Hamlin, started to talk to me about EOS back in late 2020. He said, I want to implement this. What do you think, etc. And we decided to hire an implementer. Now, an implementer is different from an integrator, and then an implementer will come into the company and show you how to ingrain EOS into your daily life and embrace it. So we did. We decided to jump in feet first and fully embrace it, late December 2020, really January 2021. And I look at, Objective as pre-EOS and then post-EOS. It has really changed the operations of our organization. We've always had a pretty good culture, right? Really good people. But the basis of EOS is forming your core values, right? And hiring people that all have the same core values. And I'm telling you, it starts with people first. You hire good people that all have those, core values in common. and then top it off with hardworking people, etc. And your organization will really take off because EOS brings structure, it brings accountability, and it just really is a night and day difference. And I've seen it happen, and so I can sit here and attest to integrating EOS into your business, and that it just works wonders. And so I'm really happy and excited to tell my EOS story when people ask me what is EOS. So I like people to ask me what is EOS.
We actually here at Eve Pacific prefer to work with businesses that actually operate on EOS. We speak the same language. It's a way to keep organized and
Yeah, they have
move
their stuff
projects
together.
forward. Yeah, it's really our preference to work with companies that have embraced the system. It just makes it easier for everybody when it comes to meetings and integrating and actually doing the deep dive that we do to get to know your processes, so we can actually identify areas of that have opportunities of improvement, or just outright pain points, like connecting your ecosystem so they'll talk to each other. Sales, marketing, prospecting, things of that nature. So let's go back. So tell us a little bit more about your business's process for prospecting or business development. Are there automations there on how you capture leads, or how your marketing and business development work together to go out and capture leads, and how they get them over to your teams to assess and reach out and secure those clients, and how do you move your process forward to do valuations and things of that nature?
Sure. So, starting with the software that we currently use, there's different ways that we do our prospecting or go out and get leads. It's inbound, outbound marketing, and it's our referral partner network has really been where most of our leads have historically came in from, and which are M&A attorneys, wealth managers, CFOs, etc. However, really invested in marketing last year, and we have a most wonderful marketing department that has given us a wonderful strategic plan going forward. And so we've integrated a couple of new softwares. We started using Deal Cloud back in 2020, I think, is when we integrated it. And Deal Cloud is a platform that financial institutions use, but it can be highly customized. So investment banks use it, and we use the marketing portion of Deal Cloud. So when we started to make heavier investments into marketing, we had used Salesforce prior to Deal Cloud. But we decided to bring HubSpot back into to use that for keeping track of data, and it's just more robust for our marketing department. So using HubSpot, and that
More as a CRM.
CRM, and it integrates with Deal Cloud, and and there's probably certain automations that I don't even know about that probably exist that we could do wonderful things with, and so. That's why, last quarter, I mean, I've known I've wanted to do this most of the year, but there's been other, pressing things. But I brought together kind of an AI steering committee, and we have people on the steering committee. And right now we're going through and seeing, where could we use AI effectively, places where we can increase efficiency and maybe helping to reduce costs, etc. Just going through and seeing what are other banking institutions, what are other companies doing, and then go through and where's the low-hanging fruit? What could we do first? Where could we improve the most? But mainly, since I'm not an AI expert, hey, hiring an AI expert, coming up with a steering committee, so you have all these like minds from our execution department, which does the actual investment banking work, sales, marketing, all coming together, brainstorming where can we improve efficiency, and where can AI have the most impact. So this steering committee that I brought together this quarter, we're going to come up with a couple of things that we're going to change and institute as far as AI. And, my goal is to get ahead of the curve because AI is going to change really quickly. I'm sure we've already seen and witnessed the different iterations, and even 6 months to a year from now, how different things are going to look. So just trying to stay ahead of that. Modeling, I'm sure that's going to come further along. Our bankers, our analysts and associates build complicated financial models. And I'm sure at some point, AI will be able to pretty accurately build some of those financial models. But right now, still needing the human touch there to tell the story with investment banking and look over the models, et cetera. It's not as easy as hitting a button and then all the work's done for you or anything like that. Not to say that 5 years from now it wouldn't be that way. So it's super exciting just to see where things are going to go. But I really believe that people in business that are honing in their soft skills now, I think that that's great because we're going to get to a point where a lot of the work is being done. Obviously, you still need humans to review the work and make all the intricacies work. But I think working on those soft skills is going to also become pretty important for human beings in the future.
Thank you for that. Most people don't see the full vision, and that vision will change. But full disclosure 2.0, thank you very much for, again, focusing on the importance on bringing in consultants from the outside to give you that expertise that most businesses can't really afford to bring on a CTO or a chief AI officer. And consultants are the most practical and cost-effective way to help you navigate the landscape and where we are to set you up for success to where technology is going. And
you don't know what you don't know either. I'm sure there's things that when you get in there and you dig in, you're gonna, did you know that you can do this? No, I had no idea that you can do this. Wow, great. And that just made us so much more efficient, so much more cost effective, et cetera. So, again, it's one of those things, unless you have someone that's pretty familiar with what you can and can't do, you don't know what you don't know.
Well, Eve Pacific wouldn't be what it is without clients like you. No, but to just rewind and touch on that initial meeting, what I thought was great, even before you decided to create the steering committee, I believe that some members of your team, they were already interested in AI. And I think Ben Stinson was the one that wanted to utilize Copilot, but then he had mentioned in the meeting that he had used it for certain things, and then he was hamstringed in other areas that he wanted to use. And then he's like me, now a converted OpenAI snob and uses Chat GPT. So for you personally, have you been utilizing Chat GPT or any other tools in your daily use that have assisted you since this phenomenon has become more widely recognized by most industries?
Oh, definitely has changed certain things. Where I've used it most is if I'm just stuck on something, maybe I'm tired. Have you ever sat down at your computer and you're like, okay, I know I want to craft this email. Maybe it's a difficult message, etc., or maybe not. But you just plug in go to ChatGPT, plug in the basic subject, and it will help you craft something, even when you can't find the words yourself, etc. So and that's kind of low hanging fruit, but it's also great, and it saves time, right? So
Definitely.
that's how I've kind of done that. It helps me with agendas and things sometimes. Hey, write an agenda on, we're going through this cultivation process, how we're cultivating leads, write an agenda for this meeting and blah, blah, blah. And I obviously you have to go through and tweak it, but it saves a lot of time in giving you that starting point. So helping me write with certain things and giving me a starting point has helped save a lot of time. But in marketing, and I don't know if Kathy touched on this with you when she was here. And Kathy's, by the way, Kathy Cow is our vice president of marketing, and she
Yes.
has already been on Noble's podcast here, E Pacific's podcast, and so she's absolutely wonderful. But she may have touched on the interns that we hired and some of the projects that she was giving them. And she gave Bryce Hamlet a project on LinkedIn, and I think we touched on that in the AI steering committee.
Yes.
Full disclosure, Noble has joined the AI steering committee meetings because when we start talking about what we can and can't do, he can jump in. Oh, sure, that this is kind of guide that process. So just full disclosure there, but. Yeah, he was given a
2.0.
yeah, he
Thanks.
was given a project on LinkedIn, and he sat there. Oh, it was information on LinkedIn, and I sat there thinking, oh, there's got to be an easier way of doing this than just manually going through like 1,000 profiles. And Bryce is majoring in finance, but also AI. I forget exactly what the name of it is, but I mean, he's passionate about AI, but it's a mixture of finance and AI. I have to ask me.
Awesome.
Or better yet, ask Bryce to, since he's so passionate about AI, maybe you have another podcast guest there at some point. I know he would
Yes,
be super excited
definitely.
about that. But yeah, okay, we're doing this manually, and he came in, he and a friend, and they came up with an AI process on how to go through, and they did that manual process that could have turned into hours into like 30 minutes, right?
Oh, wow.
Again, increased efficiency, reducing costs, and that's how AI is important. Again, I don't know exactly how they did it. Noble, you probably do, but wow, just thinking of small things like that, where you're given a task and, okay, how can AI make this even more efficient? Where, loads of data is concerned and things like that.
No, I think Bryce is an amazing addition. Even though as an intern, he's definitely got a hold on AI. He and his friend definitely went in at a little bit more advanced level and used some AI API keys to actually connect your systems. I mean, you got some free work out of an intern that just cost me a lot of business, but
Well,
I
paid
will.
interns, but yeah.
Yeah, no, paid interns, but I'm just saying you
Yeah.
got it at a better rate than what I would have been able to offer. No, I am truly looking forward into working with you guys because finance is definitely at the cutting edge when you were speaking about modeling, right? How things are going to change in the way that everybody does their work, especially analysts. And we'll see over the next 12 to 18 months how that completely changes. And I want to get you guys on the forefront and cutting edge of all useful technology. Have a lot of open source models for large language that have been released. Meta has just released their new model. Everybody's going to be wrapping their own technology around these open source models. So I look forward to working with you guys and our team and moving Objective forward to stay ahead of the crowd.
Definitely. The other thing I wanted to mention too is I know that some people are scared of AI coming in and taking over certain jobs or eliminating certain jobs. And to an extent, that might be true with certain jobs, but I know that in finance with modeling, et cetera, look, you're still going to have analysts, associates, et cetera. I just believe that the job duties and then how things are done will change, right? Only going to become, again, more efficient with what they're doing. So it's not, we're just going to replace an analyst with some sort of robot. That's not the case here, but just more efficient, and your job duties are going to look, I think, very different tomorrow than they do today.
Oh, definitely. And tools are still changing at a rapid rate. It's just that the whole marketing echo chamber around AI it just has seemed to give most of the public at large kind of this fatigue. But there are, daily new tools that are being created to move business and productivity forward, which you have to filter out the noise
Right.
and try them out and get to know specifically to your use case what is best for you. And
Yeah.
that's my job, right?
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
And everybody on your team seems to be very apt to trying out new technology. So you guys are going to really be great.
Yeah. Understanding that change is inevitable, right?
Right.
And having people that are comfortable with change. Hey, this is happening whether you like it or not, and you need to get on this. You need to get on this train. It's headed this way. So embracing it and learning how to use it and learning more about it, I would encourage everybody to do that.
Thank you. The most important question I have for you right now, that I ask all my guests: Star Trek or Star Wars? Are you a fan of which? That's
Now,
right.
this is there's two different teams in our house, as I am sure you are aware.
Point of consternation.
There you go, but definitely Star Trek. So Kathy, I know she's with me in this one.
She's also team Star Trek.
Yep.
But our friend Nathan, he's with me on Team Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, at least we're on Team Pug in our house, so
definitely pug love.
Lots of pugs.
Before I let you go, are there any things that you would like to share that we haven't covered, just to open the mic to you? Any wisdom you'd like to impart on our audience before we close this out?
Sure. I really believe that, becoming more informed as an executive and somebody that's in charge of operations is super important. But how I become more informed is also turning to people that know what they're talking about, right? Because when you start using certain terminology, it's just kind of like, the teacher on peanuts. Wah, wah, wah. So, get somebody like Noble from E Pacific that knows what they're talking about, that can help you, just pick off even the low hanging fruit. Here's where I see where you can improve. And, because it's just a good idea to always surround yourself with people that know more than you do. But soak in as much as you possibly can, learn as much as you possibly can about AI, because we're going through a huge shift in society right now, and in business, and it's super exciting. So again, like I alluded to before, embrace change. Things are going to change, and just learn how you can use all of these new and exciting tools that are being put in front of us. Get someone that can discern what tools are going to be right for your business, because there are a lot of new softwares that you see in a lot of even consulting firms, etc. Just make sure you pick a good firm like E Pacific that can help you discern what would be best for your operations and your business in general.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't have done better myself. So go ahead, and if anyone is interested in valuations or selling their businesses, what is your website?
It is objectiveibv.com.
It is indiavictorbravo.com. Okay.
India Bravo Victor, IBV, investment banking valuation, IBV. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. It has been a pleasure. Even though I see you every day, I am amazed more and more with what you and your company does. So thank you again. And hopefully somewhere down the line, you'll come back and give us an update on your journey in AI.
Definitely. And you'll see some more objective people on the podcast as well. But thank you for having me as a guest. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. And remember, thank you all for joining us, and continue to embrace AI. And Eve Pacific is here to help you in the transformations in business into efficiency and innovations. Until next time, keep innovating, keep evolving, because the future of business is now. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and visit our website, www
Pacific Media, call